Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. And we are back the next day, the next morning in Tillman's room. So, welcome to you.
So
again.
everybody welcome in my room. This
Yes.
is where I usually sit and give all my private interviews, sometimes a short therapy session or a longer one. But this is where I practice. I'm always in this place. It's like my home. I live on the sofa.
Yes. Sofa guy. So yes, yesterday we left going through the book in the different chapters and how it was built, which correlates with the way the curriculum of the education will be. So we will try to finish this in this video. So
yeah, so I can give you an overview. But actually we're now in the therapeutic part, and since you're all therapists, then what Wolfgang will do is he will ask you what you have covered already in your training. So, for example, probably this chapter that we were starting with the 7 steps, in this chapter then come a lot of possible little methods which are based in the approach of psychosynthesis of Assagioli, a psychotherapist coming from psychoanalysis, who became very famous in the US, also in Italy, and Wolfgang is also a teaching therapist of that tradition. So this approach works with a lot of visualizations, where one goes into the different themes of the client which need to be resolved, and one brings in helpful ways of imagining the solution, of going into the solution. So I won't give you the whole list, but this is not so well known. So it might be that when we come to Denmark, that this is something you would like to get to know, because it's a strong work with the resources. And then, of course, we have as a basic exploration technique, we have the focusing, which is using all the, you can say, all the sensations in the body when you contact an emotion and you re-invite the memory of a difficult situation. And then we work with that until this famous shift occurs, like the founder, Eugene Gentlin, was a direct teacher of one of our therapists, and the one who wrote this chapter here is the student of Gentlin directly. And so this is an exploration part which we use quite often, but you might all be familiar with that. So we will see how many people need that.
and this does it also correspond with how you would work with traumatic experiences?
Well, the working with traumatic experiences is a whole different chapter.
Okay.
We would not go through focusing, because if you do the focusing process with trauma, it just might go very quickly into a re-traumatization.
Okay.
So you first install a safety sphere, contact with resources, you evoke the subject very gently from a distance, and so on. So we have trauma therapists in our teaching group who have done somatic experiencing, who have done NARM, and the classical approaches known, EMDR and so on. So we will see what the therapists need and what they want, and then that can be taught on the basis of this essential psychotherapy. Usually there's a slight change here and there, the way we use the techniques, but the basic techniques remains the same. But trauma is a different subject. Before we enter there, I would like to say that we are working a lot with looking at the different parts of the personality. So personality parts, aspects of the personalities which you can give a name, the critic, or the guilty one, the the explorer. You can have you can have even a personality called the Viking or whatever. So we give them names and we begin to do a work of integration. So as if they were coming to this table, discussing their needs and their fears, and how one can take care, how they can serve the overall process. So this is an important part of the work. And as you know, this is also connected with what we call the inner child. So another aspect of our work is quite important actually, to identify the needs and fears of the inner child and to do the necessary parenting process, which you can do now as an adult for the child that we have been in the past. So that on the basis of Buddhist mind training is extremely helpful. And these are important methods. I will give you more. Maybe we press the button.
Let's
for
do
more.
this. Yes.